Hi, first graders. The last time you were in art class, you were working on drawing a polar bear using circular shapes, whether it be a full circle or half circles. Today, what we're going to do is work on something called shading. So we are specifically going to be working with black, whether it be a black crayon or a black piece of chalk or a black oil pastel. It's kind of your choice, but we will use that to do some shading. So adding lights and darks to our project, specifically darks since we're using black. I will do that demonstration in just a second. Okay, so your project after last class looks something like this, and I don't want you to Sharpie. Now if you did, it's okay, don't worry about it. We can work with it and make it work. But you're going to use multiple things today. The first thing I'm going to show you is with a white crayon, and I know using a white crayon on white paper doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it will make sense once we add more to the project. So what I'm going to do is make like just teeny tiny little white dots all over in my sky. So above this line right here, that's my horizon line where the ground and the sky meet. So I'm just making little white dots, and I'm pushing kind of hard with my crayon to make those white dots. Now it's going to be kind of hard for you to see them, but what we're going to do is something called a crayon resist. So I'm going to get watercolor paint, and I'm going to pick some sort of sky color. I think I'm going to paint this purplish color right here. So I'm going to get a nice puddle, and check out what happens when I paint over the white spots. They don't turn to paint. Okay, so you're going to paint your whole entire sky, but you have to put the white dots with crayon on first, and then once you paint it, those little white spots will look like either stars or snow, or you use your imagination, whichever you want it to be. So I would paint the entire sky, all of this over on this side as well. I'm not going to paint all of that just because I don't want this video to get too long. But once I'm done with that, I'm going to let that dry, and that won't take long at all. It just needs to be dry enough that there are not puddles, okay? Now the next step, I want you to use, if you happen to have a oil pastel or a piece of chalk, that would work the best. Now you could also use a crayon or a colored pencil. Whatever it is, it has to be black. It's just that these will smudge and smear a little bit better, which will kind of help us get the shadows a little bit better. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Some of the spaces you're going to color in completely dark, like the very tip of the nose and the eyes. I can even color this in a solid black, like this. Okay. Now here's where it starts to look cool if you can use chalk or oil pastel. What I'll do, I'm going to trace everything, but I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of a line right along under here, and I can kind of smudge it with my fingers, and it starts to make it look a little bit more like a shadow, okay? You can smudge a little bit in between the eyes if you want to. You can trace around here. But most of that smudging that you're going to do is going to be down on the bottom of your polar bear, okay? So underneath the snout more, and underneath the head more. Okay, or where there would be like kind of a wrinkle in the polar bear's skin and fur, like above its feet. So I could make some of it go up there. Okay, now that's all I'm going to do for my demonstration. I am going to finish this, and then at the very end of the video, I will put a picture of it so that you can see what it looks like when I'm all done. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know.